Planet Vero Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Treasure Coast Connector, connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. Treasure Coast Connector is the talk show and online community where we put a spotlight on interesting local businesses and resources, then connect them to you, the consumers in the community. Everyone has an interesting story of why they do what they do, and when we learn about what's happening in our own backyard and support local businesses, it strengthens the local economy. For details on the show, links to promos, discounts, past interviews, visit www.tcconnector.com. So there is a lot of new construction taking place on the Treasure Coast, both commercial and residential. It's very exciting. And joining me on the show for the second time is Dan Grosswald, and he's the president of the Southeast Division of Mattamy Homes. And there's a wonderful community taking shape called Newfield in Martin County. He's here to give us an update on all the exciting things that are taking place. So welcome back, Dan.
Well, thanks for having me, Ellen. It's great to be here.
Yes, absolutely. And so because it's been raining and, the corporate Mattamy Homes helicopter, you just can't fly it in this weather. So you're down in Boynton Beach?
Yes, it wouldn't be safe to get on the corporate helicopter right now.
Okay.
We'll have to
all
do
right.
it from here.
Very good. But I like your backdrop, and that's about the farm. But before we start talking about this, I'd like for people to hear for just a moment a little bit about you and your background and why you got so excited to be in real estate and land and home development.
As a younger man, I tried a few things in business to try and find my way, and I landed on real estate and home building and development. Home building is, especially at Mattamy, is very satisfying. You're providing a basic need to people. You're providing a home for their families, and you're really changing the world in a material way that lasts for a long time. So that was very inspiring to me, and that's why I chose real estate and home building.
Very nice. Wonderful. Okay, so now you were on the show back in September of 2022. Seems like just yesterday, actually. And when I was speaking with Stephanie, your assistant at the PR firm, and you were talking about a number of different projects. But now we want to focus on Newfield in Martin County. And very specifically, there's an event that happened on March 30th with the Boys and Girls Club, and it was a special planting event. So give us an overview about what happened on March 30th.
Well, Mattamy acquired Newfield from Knight Kiplinger. He spent 7 years building a vision there of a really special community. And there are really three parts to it. There's the small town collection of about 4,000 homes. There's also a giant preserve. 2/3 of the property will be remaining as preserve area. And then the final part of it is the farm, which we will turn into a sustainable farm that will be an amenity for the community and a way for people to interact with food and farming.
Very nice. So now with this event on the 30th, the kids they were not just digging in the dirt to play, but they were planting vegetables and stuff. So what is it exactly? What were they planting?
So, the property has been a farm for a long time, for many, many, many years, and we're required to keep part of it as a farm. But one of the great things about working at Mattamy is that we always want to give back to the community. Our founder, Peter Gilgan, has given, hundreds of $millions to primarily children's things like hospitals and developmental centers and things like that. And he really requires each of his divisions which we are one, to also give back to the community. We're not the kind of company that's just going to come in, develop property, make a bunch of money and leave. We want to make a real change. Sustainability has also become a great driver related to our core things that we want to do. So given that we had the farm and the Boys and Girls Club, which does great things for Martin County and other places around the country, it seemed like a perfect fit. So we have started to develop the farm portion of this this small town, and we contacted the Boys and Girls Club. They have a certain training element to what they do for farming, and they also have a culinary institute there where they have trained some of their kids how to learn how to be cooks and chefs and other things like that. So it was really a perfect fit for us to start the development of the farm, create the first part of the sustainable element of the farm, and have the kids come in and actually do some of the planting there. So they planted herbs and vegetables in a portion of the plot of that farm and to kick it off. We had about 100 people, dignitaries and other people related to farming, come in and kind of demonstrate what we're going to be doing there and how the Boys and Girls Club will be interacting with the farm. And it's not just a one-off event. We plan to segment off a couple of acres that will always be used by the Boys and Girls Club in their agricultural development, and they'll have exclusive use of that and be able to go on for years and years as part of their training and development of the youth in Martin County.
Yeah, I think that's really wonderful because I know a little bit about the Boys and Girls Club. I know that they have their, for here on the Treasure Coast, the Indian River, St. Lucie, and Martin County chapters, and I know a bunch of people that have worked there and still do. And it's just wonderful to see the different programs, especially when it's about educating children, giving them skills to help them with their career path in the future. And especially when they're young, they can try different things and they can learn, what they like and don't like. And this can actually spur them onto a really fruitful career. Get that, Cindy? Fruitful. We're planting. I love my puns, Dan. Cindy really likes
something sprouting here.
Yes, easy. Dan loves puns too, and so that's really nice that you're doing that and that it's an ongoing thing, not just a one and done. It's also good that you didn't let them just go over 100 acres, all of it. Just give them a part of it. That's really good. Now the Newfield Farm is managed by Agmenity. So now what are their plans for the farm? And I understand that John Long, and I'm reading my notes because I always hate messing up names. John Long is the current on-site farmer. He's also the winner of the Southeast Farmer of the Year. So if you can give us a little more detail on, the plans, for the farm.
Sure. Well, as I alluded to earlier, it's been a farm for, 50, 60, 70 years. The Kiplinger family used it as a farm. It was once a citrus grove also, and there's been logging on the property for, 100 years. John Long's been out there, and he'll continue to be out there. It's currently over 600 acres being farmed, and that will slowly diminish into the 100 or 150 acres that we plan in the future. The farm will really have three components to it. There's the initial component, which people will interact with it. We call that the showcase farm. If people want to just have a light understanding or be able to pick up some fresh, clean vegetables, that'll be available to them. Then the next segment of it is a little bit bigger, where people who really want to interact with farming, get their hands dirty, maybe have a half an acre plot, will be able to not lease, but able to use that property to get more involved with farming. And then the back half of it, which will be the largest half that the Boys and Girls Club will be part of, will be a real production farm, as it is today, a little bit smaller, but a real production farm. And John will be managing that portion of it. So Agmenity is a company that specializes in these farms that are part of a community. They're really kind of an agricultural amenity, which they get their name from, Agmenity. So they're going to be managing the showcase farm and the part of the farm where people can interact in there. And what they do is create learning experiences teaching, events. You know, people will be able to come in and have be able to use some of the food there and have a dinner or a wedding there or a baby shower right there on the farm, on the showcase farm. It'll be very beautiful and well maintained. We'll teach people how to connect with food, healthy food. Really, Newfield is all about connections, whether you're connecting to food through the farm, you're connecting to nature through the preserve area and the trails there, or whether you're just connecting in their neighborhood. The community is designed as a T&D neighborhood, which requires a lot of interaction between people. That's what they'll do. They'll facilitate that interaction with the farm and healthy food for us at Newfield.
Yeah, that is so wonderful. And especially events that people can have. The people that live there can rent it out. Outsiders can rent it out. So it's not just building homes. This is actually building a lifestyle, and people are going to have great experiences, create memories. I think it's terrific. Another thing that you might not know about, but something that I want to plant a seed. Okay, last pun, I promise, is local restaurants. Oh, Cindy gave me the thumbs down sign. Anyway, so, she wants me to take a break, but having local restaurants, we love to hear farm to table. So that might be something that you might want to consider if there is a surplus of fruits and vegetables. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a very quick break. Dan has a lot more to talk about Newfield when we return. Stay tuned.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
ITEX, or International Trade Exchange, is the largest barter company in the world, with over 25,000 members offering goods and services. We're a marketing company that brings you new business in the way of trade, with over 200 local members enjoying the benefits of ITEX, like lawyers, doctors, plumbers, media, printing, and more.
Hi, this is Liz Bowler. Contact me and find out why barter through ITEX has been smarter for over 30 years. 772-532-1881. Visit itex.com.
Waves Auto Spa, known as Vero's fastest and finest. A car wash known for their quality equipment and attention to detail by a friendly and courteous staff. Waves offers soft cloth technology, and a top-notch detail center will help preserve the value of your car. Waves now offers windshield chip repair, and in most cases, it doesn't cost you a dime. Spend less time and get a better quality experience for you and your car at Waves Auto Spa, US 1 Vero Beach, across from Kmart Plaza. Open 7 days a week.
Revive Vero Beach, located next to Anytime Fitness on Oslo Road and 27th Avenue, has everything you need to look and feel your best, including hormone replacement therapy, stem cell therapy, sexual wellness, weight loss, laser aesthetics, hair, tattoo, and skin spot removal, Botox and fillers, cryotherapy, comprehensive blood work, and everybody's favorite, ozone and IV therapy. Refresh, renew, and revitalize yourself at Revive today. Call 772-492-6607. A member of the ITEX trading community. Your ITEX dollars are welcome.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I've been speaking with Dan Grosswald, and he is the president of the Southeast Division of Mattamy Homes. We've been talking about Newfield, a very interesting, progressive community that's being built in Martin County, and that's actually something, Dan, that Cindy and I were talking about on the commercial break. This is what separates Mattamy Homes from the bulk of the home builders, because it's not about just putting houses on land, just one after the other. This is creating a place where people can really just enjoy. There's going to be trails and all sorts of things. So let's talk about, this is going to be developed in multiple phases. So where are you right now with the development of Newfield?
So as I mentioned earlier, Mattamy is going to develop the project in 3 components: the farm, which is already started and underway, The next big thing that will be starting there is the preserve and trail areas. We will begin improving the trail system. There's some of it already exists. People go horseback riding in there and walk through the nature preserves there now. There's also a tortoise receiver site there, which is the first one of its kind in Martin County. So that will be developed starting next month. And then the biggest component that, what most people are really interested in is the homes. The first 1,000 homes section is in it permitting right now with the city. And we expect that sometime late this summer, we're going to begin turning dirt there to develop the actual town center and first group of homes within Newfield.
Very nice. And so what do you anticipate will be in the town center?
Yeah, so there is approvals in place for commercial areas within town center and multifamily rental apartments in town center. There's up to 290,000 square feet of commercial space available under the approvals. And we are planning to do about 50,000 square feet initially. And most of that will be sort of restaurants and local service and things like that right there on the main street. And that should start later after we do the development, probably 6 months or so after it. So you'll be able to go into the town square, have dinner, maybe a bar to have a drink. We will have a food to table restaurant that is located right next to the farm. So people can actually go there and enjoy the food that's being grown on the property and some of the other properties nearby and get fresh food and vegetables right there in the town square.
Very nice. So it's nice to see that there's going to be apartments and townhomes, and then what I call standalone homes. I'm sure you have a much better way of describing that. What about the different types of models for homes? What can people expect in terms of, like square footage of homes and maybe lot sizes?
So it's a little bit different than, what you traditionally see as it is TND. So what that means is that most of the homes will be having a street in the front where the house is close to the street. And then in the back is a driveway where your garage is. So there's very few, if any, front-facing garages in TND. Mm-hmm. And we have begun designing townhomes that will be there. They'll start at about 1,500 square feet for the townhomes. We've developed a series of twin villas. Those are all one stories, more designed for the empty nester or the active adult. Those are about 1,600 to 18. And then we have our more freestanding homes, detached homes, and those will start at about 1,800 square feet and go up to about 4,000 square feet with multiple different home widths. Mm-hmm. So there'll be basically a home that's designed for every lifestyle, every station of life, and most budgets that are available there, all the way from rentals to more estate or manor homes in Newfield.
That's really wonderful, especially for people that are 65 and older. A townhome is ideal because you don't have to worry about mowing your lawn and different mm-hmm. things. You can just, drive away and go, or especially if you're a snowbird. And then the homes that, go up to 4,000 square feet, even a lot of people that are snowbirds, they have family visiting them all the time, and they want to be able to have everybody right under one roof. And then, of course, the people that like to entertain. So you've really thought a lot about like everybody that could potentially want to live there. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a great neighborhood. There's everything from a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for an empty nester or a snowbird, all the way up to a 5-bedroom, 5-bath with a 3-car garage and a pool that'll be available to people. The community is incredibly walkable. You can walk to the community is designed so that there's a pocket park or a park or a commercial space within a 5 to 8 minute walk from anywhere in the community. So you could ride your scooter, you could walk, you could ride a bike, and you could be in a place to enjoy some open space or get a meal. So it's going to be a really incredible community, even above and beyond what the individual homes are.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds wonderful. And we have a few minutes left. So before I ask about like other projects and things, before we move off of the Newfield topic, is there something that you specifically wanted to say that didn't come across like in the questions that I asked? If you wanted to add something else?
No, I think, when sometimes I would just like to point out that sometimes when you start breaking a home builder's product down into floor plans and square footages, it doesn't really convey what the community would be. And Mattamy is a community builder. And outside of even the infrastructure, as you can see from employment of amenity, we are trying to develop a community, a real community where people can connect with each other, kind of live the way that people used to live, and know who your neighbors are, enjoy their company, and then go back to your home and have privacy. So we'll do a lot to activate the community through events and sponsored events and creating spaces where people could be together. So it's far more than just a home. Newfield will be an incredible community where you can interact with nature, the farm, or your neighbors in any way that you want to. So it's going to be really incredible and different and unique.
Absolutely. It does sound wonderful. And obviously, all you have to do, I live in Vero Beach, you just have to drive around and see new communities being built. And like I said, they have nothing to offer to the level that you at Mattamy Homes are offering the folks at Newfield. And even tradition, Mattamy is like, Mattamy and tradition seem to go hand in hand. You've had a lot of sway there as well. And it's just amazing. I live in Vero, and I'll go to tradition to go to the restaurants and shops and things like that. I think it's a lovely place to walk around after. So now what about other projects? We have about a minute or so. What else would you like to say? Because Mattamy Homes, you are all over South Florida. You have 11 markets in the U.S., not just Florida and Canada. So what would you like to talk about other projects?
Well, in Mattamy in South Florida, we are working from, St. Lucie County all the way down to Cooper City. We have a new community opening up in Cooper City. It's a smaller community of 30 homes. We already have 1,000 people on the interest list for that. We should be opening up our model there in about 5 months. And then we're developing a golf course in Lake Worth. We're redeveloping it into home sites, about 400 homes. That's about a year or so away. All the way up to Martin County, we have started building a community called Avila, which is on US 1, right near the Treasure Coast Mall in Goldenrod and US 1. There'll be 157 townhomes and twin homes there. And of course, tradition has been our crown jewel so far. And we're opening a new community there in about a month and a half called Seville. It would be I don't want to call it afford, it would be luxury living that people can afford compared to, say, Palm Beach County. So some really super high-end homes there. And we're continuing to develop the community with our T-Trail and our automated shuttles. And we have introduced a bike share program for the residents can borrow an electric bike and ride around. So it's just a lot of things going on, a lot of unique and different things and special things that Mattamy is delivering for South Florida for new home communities.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You are staying ahead of the trends. You're always analyzing and assessing what's happening, not just here in Florida, but other parts of the country. I mean, just look at what happened with COVID. We had a huge influx of people moving from New York, Texas, California, and you're working to accommodate how we're developing here. We have 1 minute left, okay? So with that said, 30 seconds to just wrap up on that thought.
Yes, like I said, it's really important for us to be more than just a home builder who comes in and plops a home down on a piece of land and walks away. We're invested in our communities. We're long-term. All of our communities, like Tradition and Newfield, are 10-year communities. So we have a vested interest to do a great job. We have incredible satisfaction. 98% of our home buyers are 100% satisfied when they close on their home in South Florida. And we really have a great culture with core values that transcend themselves into the communities that we build. So,
well, wonderful.
I hope you guys will come take a look at us.
Yep, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I got we've got to wrap up from Cindy. Thank you, Dan. I hope you come back on again because there's so much happening there. Thank you for being a part of this show. My name is Ellen Contreras, host of Treasure Coast Connector. Until next time, I miss you already.